The following KQED production was produced in high definition.
Yes, check please, people.
It's all about licking your plate.
The food was just fabulous.
I should be in psychoanalysis for the amount of money I spend in restaurants.
I had a horrible experience.
I don't even think we were at the same restaurant. And everybody, I'm sure, saved room for those desserts.
You better.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sbrocco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and we send the other 2 to go check them out and see what they think. This week, film festival volunteer Angelo Festa says his restaurant is a rare find. It's a place with a menu to satisfy any gourmet. It has a dining room conducive to eating, where you can enjoy a conversation and admire the art. And Gillian Chase is a product designer whose pick involves talking about growing the food as well as eating it. Its owners spend as much time in the garden as in the kitchen. She says that's what makes it so special. But first we begin with marketing director Nish Nadaraja, whose local, intimate, and boisterous pizzeria is fast becoming a destination for the neighborhood residents who want a pie that's close to perfect. It's called Little Star Pizza, and it's on Divisadero at McAllister in San Francisco.
I've been in pizza since '92, and I think I made the first Chicago-style deep dish pizza at my home when I was in Columbus in Ohio in the late '90s. And it's a lot of practicing and refining, and the pizza just never had a home until Brian and I put this place together.
In terms of the concept behind Little Star Pizza, we tried to create a look and feel to the place that would really cater to people in their 20s and 30s. People who eat out a lot and kind of expect more and want more.
Wow. We just insist on just the best ingredients, consistent performances from the kitchen.
So from everything to the lighting, to the art on the walls, all the way down to the 100 CDs that are in the jukebox, I think we deliver something that feels unique and organic and authentic.
We're cool.
Okay, Nish, you are a deep dish kind of guy, aren't you?
You know, that's the funny thing. I actually don't discriminate against pizza. I grew up on pizza. I'm from upstate New York, lived in New York City before moving out to the Bay Area. So I like all sorts of pizza, but deep dish, probably because of Little Star, has become something special for me. A flaky crust.
It's cornmeal.
It's
right?
cornmeal, exactly.
Cornmeal crust.
But it's fresh ingredients. It's interesting ways of putting them together. They always have different specials that are out there. So it's a fun way to kind of enjoy a different slice of pie every time you go in.
Now the menu's not overly large. You can get thin crust pizza as well as
Yeah,
thick.
actually the thin crust is actually really, really good. But I think everyone goes there for the deep dish.
It's the deep dish.
I can see
Okay,
that.
Jillian,
Yeah,
give me your
definitely.
experience there.
Absolutely. The deep dish was really good. And I'm not a deep dish pizza person. I'm a thin crust lover. So I have to say
Well, you're
that
Italian. So.
well, that's the thing. And I think that their thin crust is very good. It's not my particular Napolitano love of thin crust, but their deep dish is spectacular. And I love the ambiance. That was the thing that stood out for me. An amazing jukebox, and they it's actually a really good selection of music. I can see that it would be a big gem for that neighborhood. You know, it's like a hipster, cool place.
What was the pizza that you had?
We had we actually ordered 2 because I wanted to give it a fair shot.
Good choice, good choice.
Yes, of course.
A
we
girl
had to
after
take some
Nish's
home. We had the deep dish with the mushrooms and spinach, and I think garlic. It was really good. And I think that the ingredients that Little Star used is very fresh, and it's just natural. Just like their service and their ambiance, it's just natural. I like that.
What did you have, Angelo?
Well, wait a second. I want to pull a little rank here. She's half Italian. She's married to an Italian. I'm a full-blooded Italian.
So your word carries a lot more weight.
Maybe. I'm from New York, so I know about New York pizza. I've been to Chicago. I know about deep dish pizzas. Well, a little, I don't want to say I'm an expert, but okay.
Uh-oh, he's
always
saying,
a
oh
but.
no.
Yeah, here comes the big but. And I think we have a Generation X problem here.
Okay.
I can see that with the decor.
When we walked in, I thought we were walking into a cave. I mean, it's dark. You go in, it's daylight outside, and you go into the dark, and then you sit down at a table, and they have one little votive candle, and that's your total light to read the menu.
That's
So
a
we're-
tip, Angelo.
But then the pizza arrived. We couldn't see it and we couldn't hear it. The noise level, 5 bombs. You know, I mean, this place is, maybe that's what appeals to the younger generation. It's happening there, you know, it's the in place. But I want to see my pizza, I want to hear it. I couldn't do either. And I couldn't, you know, jukebox, all I heard was boom, boom, boom. That was it. I couldn't tell you what the song was because you can only hear the bass notes.
That's
So,
All right, but now let's get to the real
pizza
thing. When
was
you
good.
put the pizza in your mouth, what did you experience?
I don't know what it was, but it was good.
There you go.
The next time I go back, I would take the pizza, go out on the sidewalk and eat it. I think I know, and then get the other senses involved. You know?
So what I like about it is that, probably for some of the reasons you had issues with it, is it's like that neighborhood pizza parlor, except modernized for like this sort of hip, sort of urban setting. Happens to be a few blocks from where I live.
Wow.
So on that side, though, I also have the benefit when it's boisterous and crazy and busy, I can order, pick it up, and go home and eat it at home. And that's like another great way to enjoy it, which,
Right.
granted, not everyone has the chance to do, but it's
Yeah.
a nice option
It's
to
a
have.
nice
So
option.
next time you're in the neighborhood, you should give me a call. And
See, this
Eat it
is
at
Marilyn
his
Merlot
house.
on the tie. You need something like Christina Aguilera or something on the tie, the generation.
Oh yeah, and this is Marilyn Merlot wine. It's real wine. I want everybody to know. Everybody
It's very
watching
good.
thinks we're drinking grape juice.
Oh, no, we're
it's
not.
real wine.
Actually, their wine was good. The server recommended a wine, and for a local pizza place that isn't that expensive, you're not going to really expect to have good options for wine. And she was very knowledgeable, and we had an excellent French, which went very well, and it was totally affordable. And it's actually one that I've had at home before, so I was like, oh, this is a
I
good
know
wine.
this wine.
They
Because it's a
actually have
beer,
good
you know,
wine
they have
on this
great-
menu.
They have
It's
great beers
good.
there as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the wait
younger days.
because you can stand in line there.
I
Is there
saw
a trick?
huge line. Well, we got there early. We were lucky, and there was a huge line by the time we left. So.
Right. We had the same experience. We went early, got seated right away, and then the hordes came, and you know, we fought our way out. And I think my ears are still ringing from the noise. You know, that's the only the negative part of it for me. You know, the 5 bombs.
All right, Nish, tell everybody why they should go to Little Star.
It's that modern day pizza parlor. It's, you know, a great community place. It's obviously great pizza, great pies, great atmosphere. It's a modern pizza parlor with hipster trappings. And it succeeds at that.
All right, Angelo, would you go back?
I think my next pizza is going to be takeout.
Takeout.
You know, so I'll just concentrate on the food, have them delivered to my house, and we can see it.
All right, Gillian, you're not a deep dish gal, and you'd go back, right?
I would go back. If I was craving deep dish and I was in that neighborhood, that would definitely be my first choice to go.
All right. Well, if you would like to try Little Star Pizza, it's on Divisadero at McAllister in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-441-1118. It's open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday. There are no reservations, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $15. With a menu that you can throw a dart at, he has tried and enjoys everything. Angelo's only fear for his chosen place is that it will be discovered.
My wife and Jason, my partner, we all kind of stumbled upon this name. And vignette means sort of a trio, a little vignette within a bigger picture. And so we found this restaurant, and we're an independent restaurant inside a big, big hotel.
Vignette restaurant is American cuisine with French influences. My sous chef Ian and I, we've been working together almost since we opened, and staff does a great job here. Every day we prep things from scratch, and one thing that we're really proud of here is our tasting menus.
Our team that worked behind us, a group of young people that work with us, and we're enthusiastic about the food, enthusiastic about the wine, and we're really excited about working here. And we think we found that. And we found a really great sommelier who was young and enthusiastic, and we found staff that was young and enthusiastic about what we did here. People could come and enjoy a really great, intimate meal. The music is very low-key, a little jazz in the background. Great wine, great food, great friends.
Okay, Angelo, where did your dart land on this visit?
Well, I'll tell you, this is such a hard choice because everything is so good. What I did, I took the prerogative to bring the menu and bring the dart and let you choose, and wherever that dart hits, I'll talk about that item. How's that?
All right, nobody has ever brought me a dart before. Hang on. 1, 2. What did I get?
Okay, she wants to talk about the lamb daub. Oh, lamb daub, I should say. It's an excellent dish. It takes 24 hours to prepare. It's something like lamb shank, only way better, because just take your knife and get it off the table. You don't need it. Take the edge of your fork, and you can just spoon that meat off of the shank,
like butter.
off of the bone, like butter. You got it. In any event, that as an example, the scallops are to die for. The halibut, I can't think of having halibut better prepared than I have had in this restaurant. And on and on and on. I mean, just down the list. This restaurant is unique because it's up there in the quality range, but the setting. You go in, it's elegant but not ostentatious. You feel comfortable when you're in there. You can actually read the menu without a flashlight.
Come on.
All right. Now I've got to break in here because I have these two going, oh, yeah, you might be able to hear yourself, but okay, Gillian, why don't you give us...
Well, there might be a generational gap for this restaurant as well. There were some excellent dishes that we had. We really enjoyed. All of our appetizers were really good.
Such as?
We had, well, again, a wonderful salad, an heirloom tomato salad with fresh herbs and feta cheese and really good olives. The tuna carpaccio cones, or the tuna tartare cones. Those were so good.
Yeah.
My husband was like, we have to order 5 of these before we leave. I'm like,
it's
calm
their
down.
signature-
We ordered a lot, wait. They're very, very good. Our entrees were terrible. I ordered the halibut, and I love halibut, and it was not good. Everyone has an off night. It was a little slower in there. It wasn't a weekend night, so,
And Nish, you're over here kind of chomping at the bit.
I'm in between. I actually thought it was overall great. It's the opposite of Little Star. I guess you'd have to say.
Exactly.
In every way.
And
yeah.
and for the occasion, for that right time, it's great for that. And I thought we actually went. My wife and I went with another couple. It was a great way to catch up with them and to really enjoy our meal. And the meal was fantastic. We had the sweetbreads, which are great. They actually told us, you know what? You have 4 people here. Don't get the tasting menu. Get different things and try them all out. So we got to try. There's a chicken that was added to the menu at the time.
The one with the foie gras.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. And then there's a duck that was part of the tasting menu. One of the women at the table wanted to get that. They went back, checked, got it. So they're very accommodating, which is really great.
The dining room was very elegant, very nice, a little corporate, I thought, for my taste. My husband and I stood out, and we dressed nice and everything.
Somewhat
Not that
bland,
we normally
right?
dress terrible, but we, it was a
you
little. Yeah, like I didn't feel like it has an ambiance. This
weren't
was just like,
transported.
this
No.
is fine dining, and that's the sort of ambiance that we want to portray.
And
That's what I got.
Let me guess, Gillian, were you the youngest? group there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The only people under,
There it is. There it is.
45.
But so, I mean, do you feel like the decor is out of line with the food, or
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's it's calming. You can talk. I like to take friends for like a birthday celebration or
Special
a
occasion.
Or a friend you haven't talked to for a long time, and you want to play catch up. You got a lot
Most
to
definitely.
say. It's great for that.
The one thing that really stood out for me is that the organic portion of the fact that they do organic food, and that's not something that you find a lot in downtown San Francisco for fine dining restaurants. So that is a point hugely in their favor, in my opinion.
So, Angelo, this is your restaurant, and wrap it up.
Okay, I would say that if you need a place that's a little on the special side for an occasion, you want to spend a few dollars more. It isn't. I didn't think it was exorbitant, but this is your place to go. You can have conversations. The art on the walls is very tasteful. The musical background is unobtrusive. That does it for me. That's plenty for me.
Gillian, what about you?
Well, I can understand his specialty, the things that he likes about it. If I was in that neighborhood, on that street, and they still had the tuna tartare cones, I would go for that and a glass of wine. And I think it's a great restaurant. Yes, champagne and tartare. I would definitely go if someone wanted to go, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go there.
Okay. And Nish?
Special occasion place. That's a great point about maybe having the cones at the bar, something like that for a quick stop in. But otherwise, I would take my parents there.
All right, that sums it up. If you would like to visit Vignette, it's on Bush at Powell in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-956-2972. It's open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $50. "13 varieties of basil, along with all the vegetables, are grown by the husband and wife owners of this little place in Berkeley. They call it Eclectic Mediterranean. It's just off University, and it's called Zatar."
We put our whole heart and soul into this place. We're always here. If we're not here, then the restaurant closes. Weil and I have our hands really in everything that goes on in this restaurant, from harvesting vegetables every morning from our own garden and hand choosing all the ingredients, whether it comes from our garden or from other local vendors, and then also doing all the cooking ourselves. We decorated the restaurant ourselves, we tiled the tables. It's really part of us.
Zatar is Middle Eastern spices we use in our cooking, and made of thyme, sumac, and sesame seed, with sea salt and good extra virgin olive oil. Good olive oil, that's what Mediterranean food is all about.
This isn't the type of restaurant where we're interested in turning tables fast, have a line out the door. That's not our priority. We really like people to come in and sit and enjoy their meal, enjoy their wine, enjoy their company, and leave happy. That's what's most important to us.
Okay, what makes this place so great?
Well, it is absolutely, completely handcrafted, extremely high quality attention to detail. The owners are always there. They do everything themselves in the kitchen. They don't rely on kitchen help to prepare certain things, which means that the love and attention to detail and the quality is shown in absolutely everything they do. Everything's cooked to order.
And they grow most of the vegetables in their garden.
Yeah, they have this beautiful half-acre garden. They buy produce if they don't have it in their garden that's organic. They buy their meat from sustainable organic sources. Their philosophy of life and their philosophy of food shows in their food. And I just think they're very cutting edge, and they're sort of a gem that is hidden.
Maybe not for long. All right, Nish, what do you think about Zatar?
I was blown away by it. It was very unpretentious, very just an intimate setting.
What were some of the dishes that you had that stood out?
The main thing, my friend and I, we split the kebab feast, which was a feast. It was, you know, as Gillian pointed out, everything was naturally raised, sustainable, which is great and all, but
it's all about what it tastes like.
It tasted fantastic. It was, you know, I love lamb, and you know, grew up on lamb, and this was, you know, a real treat.
And they describe it as eclectic Mediterranean, so you do have influences, and the chef and owner is Iraqi, but his wife is American, so you have a lot of Italian and Lebanese and all sorts of those influences.
They travel extensively, and they take recipes from places that they've traveled and kind of throw it all in there and make their own renditions of it.
So when we were eating there also, the wife turned out to be our waitress, and it was, you know, she was so excited about, you know, what sort of wine we wanted to try.
Which are organic or biodynamic.
Yeah, and so telling us which sort of spreads to try, that was like another great starter they had. Like there's all these different sorts of spreads you can have.
And when you sit down, Zatar is a traditional mixture of sumac and sesame seeds and thyme, and you get that with the flatbread, right?
Yeah. And another side of it was that it wasn't gimmicky. I didn't feel like this was in my face that, oh, well, we use organic, sustainable, this and that. And I feel sometimes that's seeped into restaurants. Here, I almost had to prod it out of them a little bit.
But did you taste it? Did you, Angelo, taste this? I mean, you're shaking your head over here going, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm in agreement with all that's been said. And we shared a kebab for two, and they had a special that night, which was the calamari. And it was so good, we had a double order. So at the end of it, well, here's can I say the only negative about this restaurant, the only negative, at the end of the meal, you know, the three little piggies just about ate through the whole menu, and it's a cash-only place.
Big thing to note, right?
Yeah, well, we were forewarned, to be fair. We were forewarned. But nevertheless, there we were turning our pockets inside out, trying to come up with the cash.
I did find that it seemed a little pricey when I looked at that final bill.
See, I think that if that restaurant was 4 blocks down next to Chez Panisse, no one would ever complain about the price. I think that the neighborhood is the one negative thing about that restaurant, because you don't expect to have this extremely gourmet, high-quality meal with an excellent wine list, which is perfectly paired to all of their dishes. But if you had it in a different area, you'd say, wow, this is such a bargain.
And Gillian, when you go, what are some of your favorites that you order?
The Barreca appetizer, I don't know if you guys had that. The phyllo pastry stuffed with greens and sheep's milk feta with herbs. Halloumi, that's always my favorite. It's a sort of a Greek cheese. It's very low in fat, so you can grill it and it doesn't melt. And they put it on grilled bread with fresh herbs. And that night we discovered all these different types of basil, like sort of scattered throughout different dishes.
And what about other dishes for you? Did you have any other appetizers that stood out? You said the lamb kebab, and obviously this is a vegetarian-friendly place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But any other dishes for you?
That's a funny point, because to me, Mediterranean is lamb.
Right.
And so it's interesting that this was your choice, because it was, to me, such a meat-heavy place. But looking at it with this new knowledge, there's a lot of things that, you know, I enjoyed that were, you know, plain and simple vegetarian that, you know, really added to the whole experience.
Casual in terms of you know, the ambiance and the atmosphere. You don't need to get dressed up.
Oh, very
Not at all.
You don't need to wear your Marilyn Monroe tie.
No ties.
All right, Gillian, this is your restaurant, so tell people what they should look for when they visit Zatar.
Well, the very first time I ever went there, what struck me was that if I was traveling, this is a type of restaurant that I would want to stumble upon. That I would go into it and go, wow, you know, the owners are here, and there's so much love and passion in the cooking, and it's beautiful, and it's real. There's no, like you said, no gimmicky anything. And I'd come back home and I would tell everyone, oh, I was in this little town and I found this amazing place, and it really made my trip great. And that, to me, is what this restaurant is, and it's right here. And it's totally undiscovered.
All right. Would you go back if you're in the neighborhood, or make a trip there?
We'll go back, but we're going to hit the ATM machine first. And obviously we couldn't, even with 3 people, we didn't get a good cross-section. I'm interested in trying some of the items you mentioned. You know, I would think that they would have a little more choice in the price range on the wines, but other than that, it's a great restaurant.
Didn't stop you, though, from drinking the wine.
No, not at all.
All right, Nish?
I'll definitely go back, and I'd be surprised if they didn't remember us. It was that sort of place that I feel like they took the time to really say hello and come out.
That's a nice feeling, isn't it?
It definitely is.
If you would like to visit Zatar, it's on Shattuck at University in Berkeley. The telephone number is 510-841-1981. It's open for dinner Wednesday through Saturday with lunch on Friday. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $30. Well, thank you guys. We had a great time this week, didn't we? Even Marilyn had fun.
Agreed.
Right there. We featured Nish's choice of Little Star Pizza, and it generally found great favor, although Angelo's vocal cords got a workout and he couldn't see to read the menu. He did, however, enjoy the pizza, and so did Gillian, and she's not even a fan of deep dish. Angelo's Vignette was thought by Nish to be an undiscovered, unrushed dining experience, perfect for enjoying with good friends. While Gillian thought the appetizers and wine list fantastic, the entrees were disappointing. And Gillian's little place, Zatar, was a hit with everyone, although it was a bit of a shock for Angelo to have to pay with cash. For more information on these and all the restaurants featured in the series, go to the website at kqed.org/checkplease, where you can watch online or via podcast and comment on the blog. And don't forget to join us next time when 3 new guests will be right here recommending their favorite spots on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Salute.
Salute.
This show is available in high definition, via podcast, and on demand. For specific locations and hours of the restaurants featured, or to apply to be on the show, go to kqed.org/checkplease. And don't forget to join the KQED Wine Club with information and discounts on international wines, recipes, and more. You can find out about it at kqed.org/wineclub. A KQED television production.